These are the cars we dreamed about owning when we were growing up.
This is a 550 Marinello, a V12 485 horsepower manual Ferrari.
And this is a 500 horsepower manual Lamborghini Gallardo.
Everyone always says you shouldn't meet your heroes. So today we're going to drive both of these cars and see if that's true.
This is possibly the best day we've ever had on TDC.
We're excited.
This is the car. I would admit the one I would have is yellow.
Agreed.
It is yellow because Lamborghinis are yellow.
That's what they are.
And if you spec any other colour than yellow, fine. But
I like the colour on this.
This is a very nice colour and it's a nice spec as well. Silver wheels, blue. For those who don't know, this is an early Lamborghini Gallardo. Lamborghini Gallardo, essentially the car that kind of saved Lamborghini. They sold tons of these. Before the Huracan, before the Temerario, there was this.
Also, all Need for Speeds, all Gran Turismos. Gallardo, one of the top guys.
One of the guys. And a lot of people prefer the facelift, which has shorter lights and a few other bits like that. But one of the reasons I prefer these is because of the engine. These have a proper Lamborghini engine. All the later ones have got a sort of Audi-derived engine. They helped out. It's better. It makes more power.
More
it
reliable.
revs higher. It's more reliable.
More reliable, I'd say.
But more importantly, this one sounds better.
Much better.
There is 5 litres of Lamborghini V10. They didn't take a V12 and chop some cylinders off. That was all new. They said, right, we need to make a smaller car. We can sell to more people.
This is an engine. And the sound, we promise, we've only heard this moving around the car park. It already sounds good.
One thing I will note, this is a great engine and I'd stare at it for ages. It's slightly offset. I'm sure Lamborghini have got like a, it's for balance. But I think it's just because they got it wrong.
Mario went, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I do it by eye, okay? You will notice the manual gated shifter right there. That is quite rare on these Gallardos. A lot of people option the E-gear, which is flappy pedal, single clutch gearbox. That hasn't aged that well, but that is becoming very, very desirable. Manual V10 500 horsepower Lamborghini. This is the best day ever. Shall we take it for a drive?
Please, please can we do that? Okay. Okay. God, you're in a Lamborghini. You're in a Gallardo.
This is my first time ever driving a Lamborghini on the road. I'm absolutely just slightly shaving the roof right now.
That lovely Alcantara roof, just having a taste of your hair.
There are no more production V10s. Like NA V10s like this, the R8 has gone, the Huracan is now gone. That's it. That's your lot. So cars like this, simply not getting built anymore, especially not by someone like Lamborghini. There are lots of differences compared to the sort of newer, more reliable, more powerful V10. But the fact that this is even firing, so it's the firing order of the engine, is what changes the noise so much. It joins, that's an elite group of V10s. That's Lexus LFA, Carrera GT, Finn.
The guys.
So again, this was meant to be the Lamborghini you could possibly use every day. Way more people bought these than obviously Murcielagos because they could make them en masse. The driving position's not great.
No,
it's not.
Is it an aftermarket seat for you?
It's possibly, my left leg is pinned between here and here.
Okay.
And I'm having to just hover above the clutch because there's nowhere to the left of the clutch for me to put my leg.
You have to be perhaps Italian.
Yeah.
Italian feet.
Hey, you need to lose weight, okay?
Your feet are too fat.
Only eat the pasta and focaccia, you'll be okay.
Why was this your dream car?
This is before the internet. This is going to make me sound like I'm 80 years old, but it was. Like, when these came out, I couldn't just look on a YouTube video or go online and read a review about it. The only time I saw something like this was on Top Gear or Fifth Gear or somewhere on TV, and if you were lucky, you might see one out on the road. And obviously, early days of YouTube, that is when things like this were just all over Car Spotter's YouTube. So I was obsessed with these. And then you started to see more and more of them.
We've all been saying today, this car has not aged. It's perfect.
This is 20 years old, give or take. This one in particular is 20 years old. Funnily enough, the Clarkson review of this, I rewatched it the other day, he says it looks boring. He specifically says that if you do a picnic, you want the Italians to make the food, the Germans to make the hamper. And he said the Germans have made the food. I completely disagree. It is quick. That is quick. My left foot is actually in agony right now.
Is it worth it though?
It's so worth it.
Oh, there we go. Also, that is the sound of my childhood.
It's the background noise in Need for Speed.
Yeah, exactly. That is just...
I read that the gearing's very, very long, so on back roads like that, you're in one gear all the time. I was in first then, and I barely got to second. So there's an Alpha GT behind, he's going, bellissimo! He's blue and Italian. Paul, who sort of set this car up from Speedbrokers, has arranged all of this. But the owner of this car is a lady named Lynn. Found out this morning, she's a 60-year-old woman, single, by the way. And she's also had many Countachs, Diablos, lots of Lamborghinis.
As you do.
And now she has a Gallardo, just because.
Just why not?
That's cool.
Also, you know, Lynn gets at this and goes, it's all right.
It's just not a Countach,
It's not a Countach, though, is it? That is Carrera GT, it's Gallardo, that is a noise of the early 2000s. That is a...
I don't really want to get out of this,
no,
but I will to go and look at your Ferrari.
I don't want to get out either, but let's go and look at the Ferrari. This is my choice. This was my absolute dream car growing up. I will get onto the story of why in a little bit, but first, what is this? A Ferrari 550 Marinello, 5.5 litre, V12, 199 miles an hour, 4.3 seconds 0 to 60. This was the halo car of Ferrari in the late 90s and early 2000s. This thing is perfect looking to me.
Great name as well, Marinello, literally where the things are built. And
yeah.
I went, hey, I give it the name of the Om.
So before this car, all of the big V12 Ferraris were mid-engined. Yeah. It was the Testarossa before this car. Yeah. This car replaced the Testarossa. This was the first return to front-engined Ferraris since the 70s and 80s. So this is actually based on the 456, but it's its own two-seater configuration, 5.5 litre. It was voted numerous times the best handling car in the world.
That's surprising, because this is meant to be like a sort of GT.
It is a
supercar.
GT, yeah, Grand Tour.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere near as raw as something like the Gallardo. This is meant for doing long trips abroad, but supposedly is still one of the best handling cars of the year. And just like the Gallardo, we have sat in the middle there a gated manual shifter. Perfection.
With a very shiny knob on it.
With the shiniest knob you've ever seen.
Can I see it?
The engine?
There's something special about a Ferrari, just seeing a Ferrari engine.
5.5 litre V12. It's a Ferrari V12. I don't want, what more do you want from me? It's the guy. Something interesting, this car was right before they introduced the pedestrian safety sort of things, which is why, I mean, that's below my knee. That's the front end. Whereas if you look at a 599 or an F12, they have much longer, taller fronts. So this was the kind of end of Ferrari being able to do this. It's so low, in fact. You see that? This is completely standard, by the way. It rubs on the top of the bonnet, as they've just had to shove it in and then go,
that's hot rod spec.
Slope it down.
Squeeze the engine in there and just shut the bonnet down on it.
I've dreamed of driving one of these for over 20 years. So can we please go? It's very quick. It's so quick. There's one very good reason why I chose Charlie's car specifically over any other 550, and that is, Will, if you could look just on that speedometer.
Oh, we got 84?
This has 84,000 miles on it, which is exactly what I want a 550 for. Ferrari people will tell you that their Ferrari is best because it has 4 miles, because no one sat in it, because it's never been driven. That makes you a weak person. Someone who gets in a car like this and slings miles on it is my favourite human on earth. And that is what Charlie's done. Charlie bought this at 74,000 miles, a very high mileage car already, and has put in the last 2 years another 10,000 on it. For Ferrari people, that's pretty unheard of. That's pretty rare.
And some of you might think, oh, 84,000 is actually quite low. For a supercar,
that is high.
It's probably double or treble what most collectors will be expecting.
Exactly. So the reason why the 550 has always been my dream car and always will be my dream car is it is the reason that I like cars. It's the reason I'm here sitting in this seat right now. My friend Will, his dad Neil, had a car delivered one day and I was 3 years old, and I remember a trailer turning up and the back end of the trailer flipped down and sitting inside it was a Ferrari 550 Marinello in silver, and it rolled off the trailer, and it's one of my core memories. It is one of my earliest memories. I remember thinking, whatever that is, whatever this thing is that I've just seen, that's me. I need that, and that's perfect. And for some reason, 550s then just carried on staying with me in my childhood. My first ever DVD I got, Apocalypse Clarkson. That's the one where he drove this, another silver one, and said it was the best handling car on earth. Gone in 60 Seconds, my favourite movie growing up. One in that. Bad Boys 2. You ain't seen Bad Boys 2? Actually, I haven't. Crazy.
Could you drive it long haul?
Oh, this is comfy.
Yeah.
This feels really good.
Even me, I've got leg room.
Back when it launched, it was £150,000. Adjusted for inflation, that is £350,000.
Jesus.
So that's the same as what a new Ferrari, you know, an F12, an 812 is going to cost you. This tracks with that. It has always been a very expensive car. Ferraris had always been front-engined, rear-wheel drive, all the way up until the Daytona. And then after that, they moved to the 512BB, the rear-engine stuff, the Testros, that sort of thing. This was the first return back to that original front-engine since the Daytona. So this car had to follow in the footsteps of the Daytona. That's quite a big set of shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's V12.
It's very fast.
Oh, that's V12. Now, what I'd love to do, my dream for a 550, is to find a crash damaged or a broken one that's derelict, one that's sat, and to rebuild it and make it work. So I'd like to do some mods to one. Because I found they make a set of ITBs for a 550 engine. This is a call out, but if you happen to know someone that has a crashed 550 that could be rebuilt, let us know, because that is my ultimate all-time dream project. And now that I've driven one, I need it.
We were loving both of these cars, but for the Lamborghini, there were a few reasons why it might not be that nice to own.
Right, my first ever drive in a Lamborghini on the road. Going to run through a couple of things I've noticed on my first drive. What I will start with is the key. It's just a Volkswagen key, and they just put a pointy bit on the end. Lamborghini, you're not fooling anyone. That's the same thing you'd get A3. You had an A3, Ben?
Yep.
Same as that?
Same key.
Same thing. Doesn't feel very special. You can't, also that. But the way this thing looks is perfection to me. Again, I mentioned earlier, Clarkson said in his initial review of the original Gallardo, he didn't think it looked Lamborghini enough. He said that the Germans had done the food. I disagree with that entirely. Look at it. Massive vents on the side. Yeah, it doesn't have big, like, springy outy bits and vents, but that's the point. It's not the V12 Lamborghini, but it's still mental. Jeremy Clarkson, eat your hat. But there are a couple of disappointing bits inside. Let me show you those. The Audi bits, they don't bother me as much. That's not too bad. At least you know that they're going to work. The gated shifter, however, that was a big disappointment. The feel and the noise, not that good. Steering wheel was really nice. The seats are very comfortable, if a little bit high. I'm actually on the ceiling. One of the worst things is the pedals are sort of all the way to the left, and there is nowhere to put your foot. Where you rest your left foot for the clutch is just in front of the clutch here. So your ankle is in absolute agony. I don't care about any of those things. I still want one of these. What I do care about is the maintenance costs. Obviously, this is a Lamborghini, brand new, equivalent today, over £200,000 before you even slap an option on it. Today, I've seen these sell for 30, 40, 50,000. You could buy one of these for 60, 70,000 pounds now. The maintenance, however, hasn't quite come down. This is a manual car. If you want a clutch, just the part, it's £5,000. People have had bills at Lamborghini of £20,000 for having a clutch change done. And some people say they only last 10K, maybe 15K. Let's take something normal, like an alternator. Surely that's shared with something Audi. Nope, that's a £2,685 part before you pay someone to fit it. And it doesn't exactly look like it's nice to work on in there either. If you damage a rear light, like one of these, that's £1,400 each. Perhaps the headlights are even cheaper. No, these are £3,600 each. A wing mirror like this, let's say you ding it, someone else knocks it off, that's £2,000 without the glass each. That price list is scary.
Owning the Ferrari, though, is actually more affordable than you'd probably expect.
Right, I am smitten. I will own one of these, even if it is a shell that doesn't even have a V5. I will own one of these. Firstly, exterior. I'm going to catch a lot of flack with this, but I still think this is the best looking modern Ferrari made. That big, wide, happy grille, much better than the 575 that came after it, which had a fish mouth. This thing sits and looks perfect. It does have the shields. This is an option on most Ferraris, if you didn't know. You don't have to have the shields. I would prefer without. Another key thing for me for a Ferrari should have 4 lights. This rear end is a Ferrari. It is perfect. Another indication that this car was meant for grand touring is this over here. Ben, what are those?
Straps.
Those are straps, because you could have, optional with your 550, luggage, and it would strap in there from the factory. That's where it would live, and you could have it sat on there. I've never driven a proper V12 gated manual Ferrari shifter before, but I can say it is perfect. But there is an issue, because it has this crest, and that means it's a Ferrari, which means keeping it going, it's not cheap. But using man maths, relatively, it's very cheap. See, one of the big issues on a Ferrari is you have to do a belt service. Take a Ferrari 355, you have to drop the engine out to do the belts and put it back in. So on something like a Testarossa or a 355, you are spending thousands of pounds to do a belt change. This car, for a belt service, £800. Ben, how much did you spend for your Clio belt?
It's over £1,000.
Over £1,000. They built the 550 to be a more user-friendly, more usable car. Now the front brakes on this car, they came from a Maserati 3200, which means for a brake disc from Ferrari, £175. The clutch, because of the transaxle, means you don't have to take the whole thing out. You basically just need to pop the bell housing back a little bit. 1,500 quid for a new clutch, in and out, all done. The annual service for this car, now that's just the bare minimum annual service, is 300 to 400 quid. Most Ferraris, you will spend thousands on that. There are some expensive things. I found that a replacement engine, there's a used one for £18,000. £18,000 for a replacement. A gearbox used is £8,000. So there are some things that you don't want to break, but overall, it's a very reliable, relatively cheap, to other Ferraris, not to all cars, car to run. And it's for that reason I need to buy a crashed one.
Over lunch, we argued about which of our cars was best, and we couldn't agree.
Mine has a horse on it.
Mine has a bull. And bull, and in a fight,
Horses are better.
in a fight, what would win?
I have more cylinders.
More cylinders, less power. Mine makes better noise.
That's a tough one because it's probably true.
I think that is true.
Mine isn't blue, and that's a win for me.
You don't like blue.
Mine isn't made by Audi.
Mine's a better name.
You can't mispronounce my name.
You could try. Mine is mid-engined and pointier, therefore is actually a supercar.
Yeah, okay, that's hard to... Yeah, it's true.
Mine has no luggage space. I'd like to drive yours.
Oh, I'd like to drive a Gallardo.
I don't know if it's going to change my mind. Look, you drive my Lamborghini.
I'll drive
your Ferrari.
You know what? Right, let's go. Oh, the noise! Oh! I will admit, this does feel quite special. And I'm not saying the Ferrari didn't, but this feels more otherworldly. It feels like I shouldn't be in one.
I'm going to say it. I'm not feeling the magic in this one. I reckon I could get out of this car and not much about it would want to make me get back in it again and go out for a drive, whereas the Gallardo, I just want to keep on abusing it.
The fact that each of us like either of these cars differently is a perfect explanation of Will and I's tastes. Will likes a Gallardo because you can own a Gallardo and you can be happy with it. You don't need to do anything to a Gallardo. Whereas all I've been doing all day is looking at that 550 and going, I could do spacers, I could do wheels. I like the idea of the 550 as a base, whereas this is just a great car overall.
This is the GT Ferraris. This is meant to be softer, quieter. It's still not designed with being loud, being brash in mind. It's designed for your older chap who wants to take it down to France or Italy or Devon.
Oh, that 550 looks so good. I have to have one. I'm probably guilty of saying it about too many cars that I would really like one. The TVR Tuscan being one of them, and I would really, really like one. But I'd sell a Tuscan in a heartbeat for one of those 550s.
I'm sorry. Look at it on the road now. It just looks apeshit. Following that thing right now makes me so unbelievably happy. That's what proves it to me. I'm in a V12 Ferrari, and I'm more bothered about the thing that I'm following.
TDC have been driving a lot of nice cars recently, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, but this is more of our bread and butter, a Haggard Oldie 36.
So this is a quick reminder that if you are buying a used car, you should always run a car vertical check.
That's right, because every single day, hundreds of cars get crashed, and some of them get repaired and put back on the road, but they then attempt to hide their dodgy past. With a car vertical check, you can find out that shady history.
Now, all you need is the car's VIN, but if you don't have access to that, you can also use the registration plate, and then a car vertical report will tell you if that car has been crashed, stolen, or clocked.
Here we have the new Car Vertical app, by the way, which you can get, and you can see that it's kind of exposing me. It's just a BMW 316. It's nothing good. But it does have green ticks for mileage, finance, and damage, so I'm all good on that front.
Now, this X6M hasn't been so lucky. Not only do we have 3 records for damage, but we've also got a yellow marker for mileage. And if we click on mileage, it gives us a graph. Mileage goes up as normal, but then it just drops off a cliff. Now, there might be a reason for that. Maybe there's a gauge cluster, maybe the seller can tell you exactly why that happened, but it could be that someone is trying to roll the mileage back and sell it to you for a higher price. But with a car vertical report, you can find out this potentially shady past.
So the next time that you're buying a car, van or motorbike, don't buy any 36, but do run a car vertical check to make sure the price you pay for it matches its history.
And as an added bonus, just for you guys, Car Vertical are offering you 20% off when you use our code TDC.
Now back in our own cars, we took them out for one final blast.
King hell, it's fast. Oh, I need it! Just for context, one of the reasons I love these so much is when I was a kid, me and a mate would go out on our BMXs and we would film cars and post them on YouTube.
Yes.
They were terrible. We're talking 3-second, 5-second, 10-second videos, pixelated, of supercars going past. There was one time, my mate who we'd go out on spot cars with all the time, spotted a yellow Gallardo and said to me, oh my God, there's a Gallardo down the road, we need to go and get it. Rushed home, got on our bikes and went to find it, and there it was. The owner came out, spoke to us, and was really, really nice about it, and he even said to my mate, do you want to start it? And I've been jealous ever since that day.
Now I'm sure that a lot of you watching right now might be thinking, your ultimate dream car is a 20-year-old Ferrari that you can get for under 100 grand. My dream car is a Koenigsegg. Yeah, listen, I understand that there are bigger, better, cooler cars out there, but this car, the 550, is the car I grew up wanting, and I would love to buy one, but it's gonna have to be something crashed, something blown up, something broken.
My foot is cramping, my back is bent up, my head is scraping the ceiling, and I look like a knobhead, and I don't care. I was so excited for today. Barely got a wink of sleep last night. Excited, because I get to drive a Lamborghini on the road, but also scared that what if I get in it and I hate it? Even though this isn't the spec I'd have, it's every inch as perfect as I imagined.
The other thing to note, there's really not that many of these cars out there. If you look at the Ferrari 360, the car that came towards the end of the 550's production run, there was 15 or 16,000 360s made. There were 4,000 Murcielagos made, and those are very rare cars. This car, the 350, only 3,083 of these were made. This is a rare, rare car, and I'm hoping and praying that they don't shoot off into the stratosphere of silly Ferrari money before I have a chance to sell every one of my organs and buy the shell of one.
So, your first drive in a 550 after many years of waiting, has it lived up to it?
I was very, very worried because we know people who have recently driven one and said, it wasn't all that. And in general, it's a Grand Tourer, but this car has far exceeded my expectations.
The Gallardo, I was worried it would be bad to drive, or it wouldn't sound as good, or there'd be lots of other things wrong with it, but it's a million times better than even I could have imagined.
I was saying this earlier, but it's funny how the Gallardo gets all of the looks, but this seems to fly under the radar, which for me is perfect.
No modern car is going to make you feel like this. None. It's not going to be the fastest thing around the track, but it will put a smile on your face and hopefully everyone else around you.
To me, Ferraris these days don't do that much for me. I don't know what it is. There's something that's just not captivating me like when I was young. To me, when I was young, a Ferrari was the be-all and end-all of all conversation. I want to drive this to the Alps or to Italy or to France. I want to drive it a great many miles. And that's exactly what owner Charlie has done and what he said he intends to keep doing, which is, to me, the only perfect use of this car. That's a good Ferrari owner.
That sounds fantastic from behind, but not as good as this. I like to think I don't get very emotional driving cars, but being able to drive this today is really quite special. A massive, massive thank you to Paul at Speedbrokers for sorting this out, and to owner Lynn, who sounds like one of the coolest women on planet Earth. 5 litres, 500 horsepower, Lamborghini. Just that noise.
So there we have it. 2 hero cars met, 2 hero cars loved. Thank you very much for watching. It makes this sort of stuff possible.
If you've enjoyed this video, you can watch where we drove some 60s American V8s, and we will see you next week.